All right, I'm going to show you a few tips this morning on drilling holes in wood. We've got a piece of wood here that we did a stain on it to make it look a little rustic, and we're going to install these lights that I showed you in there on this piece of wood. And so what we're going to do, we're going to use a hole saw, a 4 1/4 inch hole saw, to drill the holes for the boxes on through this wood. But the first thing that we need to do is we need to drill a pilot hole. And the reason is, if we try to drill our hole down through here like this little pilot goes first, and once the pilot goes through, then the saw on the outside engages, and it has a tendency to really just, once it hits that big hole saw, to just jump all over and tear your material up. It wants to run on your material and wants to break this pilot bit off. And so the better way to do it is to take a pilot bit or a 1/4 inch bit, and the 1/4 inch is what they're using here, and pre-drill this hole so that your pilot bit on your hole saw doesn't have to do any work. It just uses that as a guide. Okay, so now we're ready to drill this hole. And the other thing I like to do is, instead of going forward, is put it in reverse and go backwards, because forward this drill's going to want to grab and tear, and we don't want it to tear our wood, or we don't want it to make us to walk off and rip our wood up. And so what I do is stick it in reverse and go backwards for just a little bit to start the groove that I'm going to be working in later. So that's backwards. Backwards, it didn't want to go anywhere, it didn't want to take off, and it cuts a nice hole just rubbing backwards, just the friction. So now I can go ahead and put my drill in forward and hold it just off the material, and you can see that I'm grabbing this thing like it's $1,000,000. I don't want it to go anywhere. I don't want anybody to take it from me, and I certainly don't want it to go off on this wood to cause a problem. So I grab my drill really hard, lift it off the material just a little bit, and here I go. And that's how you cut a hole in your wood product without damaging it or breaking your drill or breaking your arm. So anyway, those are the little tricks that I use all the time as an electrician to make sure that it goes perfect. I'll do the same thing on the other end down there, and you'll be all set. It up just a little bit. There we go. Perfect.